Here we have a 2023 Land Rover Defender. And this one comes in the 90X trim level. In the beautiful Gondwana stone. And then I believe we have acorn perforated leather interior. Now the engine consists of a 3-liter turbocharged inline 6. Made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. That's giving us 395 horsepower. And with this one being the 90X, this is gonna be our 2-door model. So as we come to the front end here, we have our LED headlamps, LED fog lights, and we have our LED signature lights there, those little halos. Really love the look of this up close. Wasn't feeling it when they first came out, but after getting in this one for a minute, really starting to love it. And then down here we have 22-inch aluminum wheels. And we have the Land Rover Brembo brakes as well. Just a really beautiful, beautiful vehicle, especially in this color. Now we get passive keyless entry on the doors. And just this door trim, I really like how they kept the kind of painted door there. They didn't actually put like a door sill there. The door sill itself is here. And then like everything feels really nice. Even the plastic feels like it's not gonna cut you. So I'm really impressed by that. And we do get a Meridian surround sound system in this. Power door lock controls there. Power mirror controls, which of course we can auto fold by hitting both those buttons there. And then your blind spot monitors are there. And then we can actually use this knob to control either side. And then we have one touch up and down driver and passenger windows. And memory seat controls there. And then we have our electronic parking brake, which we can just pull by hitting the foot. Excuse me, pull this when our foot's on the brake to release, and then press that to engage. And then we have our front driver's seat with power and power lumbar support, and I believe that's a 12-way seat for both the driver and front passenger. And then if you want to get to the back, pull this up here, and then we can slide the seat up. And then we can just step back on in there. So I'm gonna demonstrate how much room is back there. Just gonna hop in here. And y'all just bear with me, please. Then we just hit that button. Now it's not fast, but there's my leg room with the seat in front of me adjusted for someone of my size. So I'm actually quite impressed that I have, my knees are not being scrunched back here, let me say that. And I do have about an inch or so of headroom, even with that beautiful panoramic sunroof in the way. And that's my view out the left window. But of course you're gonna be in this thing, hopefully going off-road, having some fun, so cup holders in the middle seat there. And we do get 3-stage heated outboard seats back here, along with 2 USB-C charging ports there. And of course our AC vents here, we can close those and open them as we see fit. And then if you look over here, the cup holders are actually down below. That's one of the perks of not having doors back here. But let me go ahead and check out the cargo space. And before I do that, I do like how they put this kind of skylight in here. That's pretty neat. This will be fun. Ooh. Now I definitely recommend getting a 110 or 130 if you're gonna be having rear passengers regularly, because that is not fun. But it's kind of cool if you're just gonna do it one time. It's for the experience. Now back here we can adjust our air suspension. if you want to change your loading height or whatever. And not a lot of cargo space, but if you want to, you can fold the second row down, and when the seats are up far enough, those will fold flat, and then you have much more space, which is probably, it's easier to show it on this side. This is how I would have this if I were to get a 90. Just have those seats down all the time. But if you need to have passengers, it's nice to have that flexibility, I suppose. And then back here, 12 volt. Then we can hang bags back here if we don't want them all over the place while we're going off-road. And we have a pocket back here as well. So, I mean, it's definitely a usable vehicle, even though it's not necessarily the biggest one you can get. Of course, we can put our premium fuel back here, which is what I recommend running on these Land Rovers. And like I said, 12-way power seats for the front, and there's the passenger side there. And I do love this huge pocket here. Then we have USB-C charge ports, so your passenger can just lay their phone there and charge. And it just looks really nice too. I'm gonna go in here and pop the hood so we can take a look at the engine bay. And hopefully this won't be too hard to open. There we go, nice and straightforward. Just push that up there after popping it. And it's mostly covered up, but there's that 3-liter turbocharged inline 6 buried in there. But now let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat after I finish putting it back where it was. And there's that second row already getting in the way. Now we do get a heated leather wrap steering wheel here, which is really nice, and I really love this kind of, it reminds me of the old Hummers, just the feel of the steering wheel and just the design of it, just that really rugged look. But one of my most impressed, I should say what I was most impressed by with this Defender is gonna be this radio here. I'm used to the older Land Rover, you know, the radios they put in the Range Rover Sports, but this radio here is very, very crisp. The picture is really, really nice. It's simple, but the color scheme is really pretty and all that. But you do get, I'll show you here, we get AM, FM, XM radio, and we also get Bluetooth audio, and then we also have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto too. But what's really neat is that I have my slope assist here, compass here, and it's really easy to scroll through, see what my differentials are up to, approach angles. We have Wade sensing on here. And then what I really like here was this screen. So we have the energy impact, and what it does is it tells you how much each device is using. So my heated steering wheel, how much that's using. As I turn that off, you can see it goes away. Fog lamps, when I turn those off, it goes away. Heated seat, when I turn that off, it just shows the AC's using all the power now. And I just think that's really neat, so you can see what's going on with your vehicle. And you can save on gas if you want to, or your battery level or whatever. But that was one of my favorite things about the system itself. But you can also, of course, track your driving style, so on and so forth. And there's our backup camera there. We also get a bird's eye view. Then we can toggle whether we want the sensors on and off, making noise. And we have an on-road and off-road view, which is really cool, and then a towing view as well. Now for the 8-speed automatic, you just pull this button back here, pull down for drive, and then you can tap over to manually shift if you want to do that, and then you can tap up for neutral. You got to hold it there and then hit the button, push all the way up for reverse, press P for park. So pretty straightforward. Now for the dual zone automatic climate controls, you can adjust them like this, and then you can push them on each side and you can control the seat, whether you want the heated seat or the cooled seat. Both of those get 3 stages. And then we can even toggle our auto stop here, hill descent. And then what's really cool is you hit that button there and you can toggle your drive mode. So whether you want sand, rock crawl, wade, the configurable one. But then what I would probably use most often would be the eco or the comfort program. Unless I was going off-road, I'd use those other ones. But just a lot of configurability. Like I said, that air suspension is really, really nice. And very quick. Now one thing I did think was weird was this volume knob and the power button is all the way over here to the right. But what's actually really easy to use for volume in particular is going to be this scroll knob here. So you can actually toggle it and it's really easy to do, especially while you're driving. And then down here we have a USB-C and a USB-A input, 12 volt there. Tons of space in the actual tray, or I should say underneath the cup holders here in the center console there. Really like that. And then we have the cup holders, wireless charging pad, and then we also have a cooler in here as well. So that's what makes this so handy, is you don't necessarily get a traditional center console cubby space, but you do get plenty of space there and you can still keep your drinks cold there. Now let's look at this sunroof here. We do get one touch tilt and slide there. So really, really nice. And we have a one touch power sunshade as well. There's a look at the back seat from up here. Trying to make sure I don't leave anything out. We get a lockable glove compartment here. Owner's manuals here. And then going back to the steering wheel, we have our shortcuts here, so we can pull up our navigation here. And then we can use this for our track list or radio station favorites there. Now all of that is customizable on here. You can set all of that up for your favorite buttons. And then we have voice recognition there. Like I said, it's a volume scroll knob there. And then to the right side, we have our adaptive cruise control and lane departure. So we can toggle all of that on. And we can adjust the gap for that adaptive cruise there. And then there is our heads-up display. And I do love the crispness of this all-digital gauge cluster here. It looks really nice without being too much. Now over here, those are your turn signals, headlamps. To put the autos on, hold that there, and then turn it off, holding it again, and then you can actually just turn it a little bit to turn the headlights on. Same thing with that. It takes getting used to, but I actually like it because it's just really neat. Same thing with the fog lamps. And then high beams there. And then we have our windshield wiper controls here. And then auto, low, high. And then we can set our intermittent there. And then we also have the rear wipers we can control there. And of course, pull up here for the front wiper fluid, and then pull. If someone doesn't have the rear wiper fluid, you might have to do something with that. Ranger or Land Rover always makes it interesting, some of these controls, so I'll have to get back with you on that. And there's our push button start. And finally, here's our key fob.